Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Labor, of course, supports using the budget to support the economy in times of need. It's what we did during the global financial crisis, preventing a recession and saving many jobs. It's about how you spend the money, and you'd think you'd get a lot for $100 billion. But this is a budget weighed down with rorts and waste. 21 funds either created or topped up in this budget, with some of the government's old favourites for rorts and pork barrelling, including $250 million more for the Building Better Regions Fund, where we've seen 89% of projects and funding between the 2019 election and the end of 2020 going to coalition seats. 112 out of 330 projects in round 3 and 49 out of 163 projects in round 4 approved by the Deputy Prime Minister's hand-picked ministerial panel against departmental recommendations. A $55 million top-up for the Community Development Grants Program, where 68% of projects approved between the 2019 election and mid-January this year going to coalition seats. And as for some of the new ones, such as the Preparing Australia program, $600 million to be administered by the new National Recovery and Resilience Agency, ostensibly for a very good cause, but at this stage will have Minister Littleproud as the final decision maker. Who is to know whether this fund will suffer the same fate as others? And this is not to mention the previous examples we've seen. 91% of the $30 million round 3 of the Safer Communities Fund going to government-held, independent or marginal Labor seats, which involve rejected advice of experts and redirecting money to hand-picked projects. The infamous sports rorts and the colour-coded spreadsheet, a program in which the ANAO found that there was evidence of distribution bias in the award of grant funding, and that the award of funding reflected the approach documented by the Minister's Office of focusing on marginal electorates held by the coalition, as well as those electorates held by other parties or independent members that were to be targeted by the coalition in the 2019 election. And let us not forget the myriad of waste examples. Over $6 million spent on the COVID Safe app that didn't work and hasn't been used in the majority of positive COVID cases. There's a question. How many, cases have actually been traced by that app? What was the point of that spending? What has it helped with as we deal with COVID? Not much at all. $10 million spent to create a new logo for spruiking Australian products at an international trade show, which was junked. $2.5 million spent on planning for a circumnavigation of Australia to commemorate the 250th anniversary of Captain Cook's voyage before it got cancelled. Billions of dollars on contractors, consultants and labour hire. Millions paid to companies in the form of JobKeeper who made profits, paid out dividends or executive bonuses. Now, this is a government that talks about, using taxpayers' money carefully. Well, what a disgraceful record they have on wasting that money. And yet their budget shows nothing for wages. Nothing for wages. They talk about, the people that build prosperity and about taking risks and working hard. Well, how can people who are working hard in this country are not supported? What thanks do the hard-working Australians get for getting us through COVID? They get a budget that shows that wages are going to continue to go backwards under this government. Nothing for wages. Nothing for people on low incomes. No vision. It's not often you can spend $100 billion in one go, $200 billion in the course of 2 budgets, and not really be left with anything. Nothing to show for it, but that's what this government has done. The government really has no plan other than getting to the next election. It's about doing the bare minimum to make what they see as political problems go away. Well, here on this side of the House, we don't see things as political problems. We don't see the aged care crisis as a political problem. We see it as a genuine human problem that needs a genuine solution. A genuine solution that begins with addressing the fact that so many older Australians are malnourished. The fact that people working in aged care are grossly underpaid and under-supported in that work they're doing, and they are central to the outcomes that we see in aged care. The money should be directed towards them, towards getting that right. Everyone can see that that's where part of the problem lies. The fact is, we need a change of government to address the real challenges facing Australia.